My neighbor, Mr. Henderson, was the kind of guy who kept his lawn manicured to the millimeter but never spoke a word to anyone. He was a retired clockmaker, and you could always hear a faint tick-tick-ticking coming from his house at night. I never thought much of it until the day I saw him roll a heavy, rug-wrapped bundle into his basement at 4 a.m. 2 days later, Henderson went on vacation, and like a total idiot, I decided to peek through his basement window. I expected to see clock parts, or maybe some old furniture. Instead, I saw a room filled with dozens of antique grandfather clocks, all lined up against the walls. But they weren't ticking. They were breathing. I know how that sounds. But as I pressed my ear to the glass, I heard a rhythmic, wet whoosh hiss coming from the wooden cases. Every single clock was perfectly synchronized. I felt a chill run down my spine, but curiosity got the better of me. I noticed the basement window wasn't fully latched. I slid it open and dropped inside. The smell hit me first. It didn't smell like old wood or oil. It smelled like a hospital. I walked over to the nearest clock, a massive oak piece from the 1800s. I looked behind the glass where the pendulum should be. There was no brass weight. Instead, there was a human lung suspended by silver wires, expanding and contracting in a slow, steady rhythm. I stumbled back, tripping over a rug, the same rug I saw him carrying 2 days ago. It unrolled slightly, and a pale, cold hand slid out. It had a small brass gear embedded in the wrist. I realized then that Henderson wasn't just a clockmaker. He was a mechanic for things that should have stayed dead. Suddenly, the ticking started. All 40 clocks began to chime at once, but it wasn't a bell sound. It was 40 different human voices screaming in a perfect, harmonious C major chord. I scrambled for the window, but as I pulled myself up, I felt a hand grab my ankle. I looked down and saw the clock I had been standing next to. The wooden door had swung open. Inside, a man with hollowed-out eyes and a ticking metal heart reached for me. His voice was a raspy whisper. Wait, he hasn't finished my timing yet. I kicked free, dived through the window, and ran until my lungs burned. I called the cops, but by the time they got there, the house was empty. No clocks, no bodies, just a single post-it note left on the basement floor that said, "You have a very steady pulse, Leo. I'll see you at midnight." Now, every time I hear a clock tick, I have to hold my breath just to make sure the sound isn't coming from inside my own chest.